Well, hello, and welcome back to my Indigo Mind. I am your host, Tashana. Okay, and today we are going to be doing a bit of a review slash commentary. Okay, so one of my subbies sent me this video, this episode that she wanted me to react to. Okay, so let's get right into it, Amy. Why waste time? Okay? It's just one of those things. You know how women are. Uh, I'll do anything for him. I'll do just about anything for him because he loves me so much. But then when it really all boils down to it, you don't have him to count on. Child, let's get right into this video, honey.
We have it all to those on the outside. There's still something missing, something waiting to be awakened within us. When you find that spark, that person that makes you feel alive, will you take a walk on the wild side and take your chances at love? After getting a taste of danger, you may just end up missing your old life, begging to rewind. January 17th, 2008. It's a quiet night in the suburbs of Westland, Michigan, about 16 miles outside of downtown Detroit.
Westland is a very nice and neat suburb, well-kept homes, hard-working people.
As most residents are turning in for the evening, local police officers are carefully setting up an undercover operation. To their shock, they've gotten word that a young couple is running an illegal escort service in the otherwise safe and peaceful community.
The couple is using a website in order to pimp out prostitutes. The police find this particular website. They pose as an interested John in order to set up a sting.
The couple takes the bait, arranges to take one of their girls over to this motel.
The police are setting up the room in the motel. They have undercover officers that are waiting outside for the targets to arrive.
Got to be more
After over
careful.
an hour of waiting, police become concerned that their perps aren't going to show up.
It's a little after 11, no one's there. They're a little worried that, maybe they got wind of the operation.
But then, a car approaches that piques officers' interest. Inside the vehicle are two females and a male. Eventually, one of the females exits the vehicle and goes upstairs.
She goes upstairs to the hotel room. Police are eagerly waiting to see if the woman going up to the steps is going to the room with the undercover cop.
As officers lay in wait, they have no clue the wild ride their undercover sting will lead them on. Soon, police will uncover a sinister tale of abuse and attempted murder, fierce jealousy and untamed rage, and the dark, twisted romance at the center of it all.
They had been living on the wild side, and he's constantly reminded
You
that
see him?
she belonged to him.
26-year-old Davina Branch was known for her strength and independence.
Davina has a very funny spirit, high energy, very creative. She's gorgeous and strong.
She was very confident. She walked with her head held high.
Everyone wanted to always be with her. People always looked up to her. My daughters, they look up to her. She was a very fun young lady.
While others just talked about their dreams, Davina tackled hers with full force.
Period.
She was so ambitious. She started her own business right after college, a hair salon.
I was like, I want to do this as a business. My mom believed in me. So I was just like, I can do this.
Davina loved doing hair, and her clients loved her just as much.
She had this magical personality. People gravitated to her.
Davina's customers thought of her not only as their stylist, but also their confidant.
Everybody came to her for advice. A lot of people trusted her.
You had a problem, she had a solution, and she always kept you laughing.
Did everything that I had to do to make my sign great, and it was great.
By the spring of 2007, the last thing on Davina's mind was romance.
My mother built me to be a very prideful woman, being educated, being strong. So I definitely had the mentality like, I don't need a man to be okay. You know, a man is a bonus, but who doesn't want a man? You know, so that's where I was at that point.
Child, and just like that, things went left. Baby.
But everything soon changed when Davina met 24-year-old Detroit native Leonard Nard Henley.
Nard, once he came into the picture, even when she's working at the shop, he would come there, and then her whole demeanor changes.
He had charm, but he was also fun, and he was funny.
He had this swag, this bad boy image. He was street savvy, and in comparison to her structured life, it just gave her this rush.
For some reason, I just always was attracted to like that bad boy street life. With him being in the streets, he could definitely like hang and keep up with the Joneses. Definitely like stayed like fresh. I knew that he would be able to afford me.
The chemistry between Davina and Nard was undeniable.
He wound up spending the night. It wasn't even supposed to happen, but it happened.
Child.
It was great. And so then it was just like, oh, got good sex.
Once you get that rush, you want to keep getting that same high, that adrenaline that draws and attracts you to it.
Absolutely.
The relationship only continued to blossom from there.
He was like the most loving guy ever. Literally, like, he wanted to spoil me. He wanted to wine and dine me. He wanted to see what I was about. It's like, oh, you like this? Let's do it.
After only a few weeks of dating, the couple moved in together, and Davina was on cloud 9. She couldn't believe the extravagant lifestyle she was now a part of with her new man.
We lived a fast lifestyle. We definitely had like the house, we had the cars, I had the jewelry, the clothes. It was so much fun.
These two were having the time of their life. Davina was basking in this excitement and all of this attention.
Something about that bad boy, honey. She lost it.
What Davina didn't yet know was that her intoxicating new love would eventually lead her down a dark and violent path.
Child, we never do.
One that would cost her everything she'd worked so hard for.
He was like, you're the perfect little boyfriend. Oh, okay, boy, you know. And then he became crazy.
Just like that.
January 17th, 2008, Westland, Michigan. Police believe they have the leaders of a local escort service in their crosshairs after luring them to a motel under the guise of a paid sexual encounter.
The young lady comes to the room. She tells him, look, this is going to be $125 for a half an hour. Well, that seals it. He immediately alerts the young lady that, look, you're under arrest. I'm a police
officer. Got your ass. She gonna tell.
Officers in the parking lot.
She gonna tell.
On the ringleader couple.
They're surrounding the car. They come up behind the car. They're at the window. They have the guns drawn.
They immediately go into the vehicle to arrest the occupants of the vehicle that dropped her off.
However, police are about to get more than they bargained for when they unravel the shocking truth behind this criminal enterprise.
She got in a bit above her head. He really used
a bit. Child, don't let these men, honey. This is just merch.
Detroit native Davina Branch spent her early 20s focusing on her career and starting her own hair salon. But deep down, Davina wanted more.
It's this little devil inside of her that wants to take a walk on the wild side.
Mm-hmm.
So when
that good girl wasn't a bad boy,
also known as Nard, strutting
we know.
Life, Davina threw
we
caution to the wind.
He was definitely a bad boy. He was in the streets. So I was kind of like that good girl that kind of like looking at that bad guy type of image.
She had to have it. Chemistry kept going and became more and more.
I was very in love with Nard. In love, infatuated with, definitely all of that.
But Davina would soon realize that her exciting new life with Nard was nothing more than a cruel illusion.
That all.
Contrived by a toxic love that would drive her to commit unimaginable acts for her man.
That was not her lifestyle. That was something she wound up getting into.
January 17th, 2008. Police in Westland, Michigan have just arrested the alleged leaders of a local escort service, along with one of their call girls, in an undercover sting operation.
There's a tipster that contacts police, and they point out this website that they say these two were using
to be more
to
careful.
pimp out prostitutes. Police then contact the couple, posing as an interested John, in order to set up a sting.
Child.
That morning, detectives begin looking into their 3 suspects in custody: Leonard Nard Henley, Davina Branch, and Micah Daniels. As it turns out, 24-year-old Nard Henley is no stranger to law enforcement.
Here's Nard with this rap sheet, multiple different types of charges.
He had a history and track record.
You just never know.
Guns.
However, Nard's alleged partner in the escort service, 26-year-old Davina Branch, has a clean record.
By all accounts, she's this model citizen. She's a college graduate. She's a business owner.
Let him bring you down.
Hard to believe that she would be involved in an escort type operation.
This also seems to be Micah Daniels' first run-in with the law. Detectives hope they can get the young call girl to turn on her employers and give up the information police need to take the operation down.
They initially sit down with Micah. She's a little apprehensive.
Micah was scared, and she really was unsure if she should cooperate with the police.
Police let Micah know, if you're willing to cooperate with us, we will offer you a lesser sentence.
Fortunately for detectives, Micah decides to take the deal.
She decides to go
I
ahead and
knew it. I knew she was going to
Micah
snitch.
begins to tell her story.
She said, see what it
Micah
was.
says it all started 6 months ago at a party.
A beautifully dressed woman approached her and introduced herself as Davina Branch.
She was statuesque. She had a beautiful outfit on.
Davina gave Micah her business card and said, do you want to model? Do you want to make some money off your beauty? If you're interested in modeling, give me a call.
Micah admits she took the bait.
She
Obviously
ended up
hadn't.
getting in contact with Davina because she wanted to know how much money she actually could make. She agreed to meet up with Davina and Nard, and once she got there, the deal wasn't what she expected.
I'm sure it would.
She thought she was meeting up with her for a modeling job. However, she quickly learned that this was for prostitution.
You
Micah
can't be
tells
that done.
detectives she was
There's no way.
apprehensive at first, but had recently run away from
There's
home
no way.
and thought it would be nice to have a place to stay and some stable income.
The couple began to describe how her life would change, how much money she would make. Davina talked her into it.
Micah says once she got in with the couple, she quickly realized that the two weren't exactly equal partners. Nard was definitely calling the shots.
Davina was not.
Oh, but we knew that though.
Nard was in fact the ringleader.
Micah told investigators that Davina was doing everything at the behest of her boyfriend. Nard had that control over her. She was doing everything for her man.
With Micah's statement in tow, detectives bring Davina in for questioning.
They put me in this interrogation room. It was like exhausted, crying, you're scared.
The police let her know that Micah has identified her and Nard as the leaders of this escort business.
Detectives tell Davina they know that Nard is the mastermind and that she's been doing
She not
his
gonna
bidding.
tell.
He was asking me about Nard, and he was like, I don't have anything to say to y'all about Nard at all. Nothing at all. I remember putting on that very strong persona of, I'm about to show you how loyal I am.
Unfortunately, a lot of women do.
After hours of interrogation, Davina holds steady.
The investigators told her that her cooperation may help her in whatever sentence or whatever prosecution she was facing.
Davina eventually lawyers up, and the interrogation comes to an abrupt end.
I really remember feeling like, what the have I got myself into?
Going to jail.
But like, all of that starts to flash before your eyes.
And where was he?
Davina is taken to a jail cell. And next up is suspected mastermind Nard Henley. But he too is tight-lipped. It seems the two are hell-bent on going down together, And with only Micah's testimony, they need a little more information to close the book on their power couple.
Police investigators putting together the file. They need more evidence.
Fortunately for detectives, the streets of Detroit will soon start talking, shedding new light on the volatile relationship between Davina and Nard.
She was in that cycle and circle of, I'm trying to get back to where we are when you first loved me. If I can do this, I can make you love me again. Don't leave me.
Wow. Y'all gotta be careful who y'all falling in love with.
January 2008. After striking out with the accused ringleaders of an illegal escort service, Davina Branch and Nard Henley, detectives are heading back to the drawing board. They have the testimony of alleged call girl Micah Daniels, but are hoping to acquire more evidence against the power couple.
Micah lets the police know that although Davina is involved, she's only working on behalf of Nard, who is the actual leader.
That part.
In hopes of gathering more information to validate Micah's account.
No, but she want to be a rider.
Detectives start putting out feelers to sources in the streets of Detroit. And it isn't long before a clearer picture of Davina and Nard's relationship begins to emerge.
It seemed like her body, her mind was taken over. He had complete control over her.
According to several sources, Nard initially made most of his money off of drugs. But by the spring of 2007, his business hit a dry spell.
During that time, it was a drought. He bought some dope. It was dope and soap, to stretch the dope. Can't sell dope and soap, so he sold some dope to somebody that came back like, this isn't even what it's supposed to be. So he lost out. And that was like his second loss out as far as like during that little drought. So he was just kind of desperate, honestly. He needed to make some money.
Nard was determined to figure out a way to make back the cash he lost.
Now he has to decide, what are we going to do next? I need more money.
Work.
And he needed to make it quick.
Jeez.
He decides he's going to start pimping Nard.
It's like, I could do this. You know what I mean? Like, we can get some girls, more girls, we could do this. It wasn't even like
it's
a real conversation.
Nard needed a partner in crime. And that partner was Davina.
When he trying to get the money for the lean.
To help him recruit women.
He realizes, she has a wonderful personality. People are drawn to her. He tells her, look, you will be perfect. I really need your help.
So you already have your own business, but you say F that.
He told her that I am the king. Every king needs a great queen.
That put me in a real hard place because I was striving to be a loyal girlfriend. I was striving to be a girlfriend. Let's get it.
Before long, Davina became immersed in Nard's new enterprise. Nard acted as the muscle, making sure all the customers paid up.
Flag on the play. If you didn't hear, this girl has her own business. If she would have just went to work like she was supposed to, they would have money to do what they need to do. But because she's running after him, look, let me tell you something. Don't be stupid. Okay? Continue to get your money, sis. Stop running after these men that don't mean you no good. Because this is a hot, heated ass mess. Child. 0 at a time. For 0 of the thing. Got me fucked up. Child. Moving right along, honey.
Davina's job was recruiting the girls.
Davina was the face for the prostitution ring.
She makes these promises. I can make you beautiful. I can make you all this money.
She had this charm about her. She knew how to talk to the girls and kind of convince them that this would be a glamorous life.
And so these young women are drawn to this.
Davina was also in charge of the girls.
So when she could have really helped, she lost
them. Did their nails, their makeup. And then with us just being friends, if you're with your friends, you're going to help them build. You're going to help them be great.
Oh, now they're your friends now.
Yeah, that was my role. I was mama.
Okay. Okay, girl.
As time went on, Nard demanded Davina take on more and more of the operation's illicit affairs.
I bet he did.
She's the one who sets up these elaborate web pages with photos, descriptions of the young ladies.
She ran the ads on social media.
Fingerprints all over it.
She took the phone calls. She made all the arrangements.
I did everything.
Nard's demands grew so extensive that Davina began neglecting her duties at her legitimate business.
I stopped being available at the salon this much. It was just like all about the escort service.
Nard is also jealous of Davina and what she can do. He wants her to make the money for him. He wants to make sure that there's a way that he can still control her and still make money.
Really played on my vulnerability a lot. And I'm like, that sounds like this just hardcore ass person, but I really was never really empathetic. And it was because I really didn't allow people to get to that part of me. But he had got to that part of me. So he played on that.
However, as Davina fell deeper and deeper into helping Nard run the escort service, she began to feel a growing guilt.
Davina wanted to protect the girls, saving them only for the high-end jobs.
I did care for them. They confided in me, I confided in them. We were friends. I felt bad. I wanted to help them.
But Nard wasn't having it.
He was jealous of the relationship that the girls and I had. He would always say, like, the bitch is not your friend.
Nard started feeling that Davina had more control, like more respect. He wanted that same respect. He wanted to be the kingpin. He wanted to be in control.
He started telling her what she could and could not wear. And Nard constantly
That's
reminded
that insecure BS.
that she belonged to him.
And she just started complying, I bet.
Nard stopped letting Davina out of his sight.
What the hell?
He wanted to know her every move, where she was going, how long she would be gone, and who she'd be gone with.
Who are you talking to?
Everywhere she went, he went.
Oh.
Listening to all her conversations, she was very distant from her mom. She barely was eating. And she
at that point, you're not a boyfriend anymore.
Like, completely changed.
You're the government.
Like, I didn't really know her anymore.
Like,
you're
he was
CIA.
always around me.
You're FBI.
Like, that was him monopolizing all of my time.
But little did Davina know, she had only seen a glimpse of the rage inside Nard. A rage that was about to be unleashed.
It was just a complete spiral downward.
The more she tries to fight back, the harder he hits her. He's trying to kill her.
Tap the screen for me. Don't be mean. Share me.
January 2008, Westland, Michigan. 26-year-old Davina Branch and her boyfriend, Nard Henley, have been accused of running an illegal escort service in the suburbs of Detroit. After hearing testimony of alleged call girl Micah Daniels, detectives have been gathering information from various sources to validate Micah's account. Sources tell police that after Nard's drug-dealing business hit a dry spell, he enlisted Davina to help him run the escort service, and he expected her to follow his every demand.
Nard became very controlling, more possessive, more aggressive.
He's controlling her mentally. He's going to let her know I am in charge.
It all came to a head one night after Davina went out and didn't tell Nard.
Welcome.
When Davina returned home, Nard was furious.
Welcome, everybody.
That really enraged him because he wanted to be in control.
So he like walked up to me all aggressive and I thought he was about to hit me.
Nard wanted to teach Davina a lesson, and things quickly got violent.
Oh, wow.
It's not just I hit you because I'm mad. I'm hitting you to make a statement. I'm hitting you to control you.
Davina's in a fight for her life. She's struggling. The more she tries to fight back, the harder he hits her. He becomes more volatile.
I felt the blood coming out of my nose immediately.
Oh, wow.
And I felt my face like on fire. The shocking reality that I was one of those girls. Like, my mom raised us way better than that. How am I going to explain this to my family? Like, I didn't really know what to feel.
It's embarrassing.
Just as quickly as the beating started, it all stopped.
He immediately went to the most empathetic that I ever saw him.
Right.
He's begging and pleading.
Of course
I'm sorry.
is.
I love you.
That's what they do.
I won't do this again. It's his way of trying to get back into her heart.
With him showing me this empathetic side, it was like, I forgive
Putty.
him. Like, I can't
Putty
believe him
is
for
here.
real, because then I'll be a failure at this, and I've sacrificed so much. I was just like, I just shut up about it and just
don't want to
on.
look stupid. You don't want to give him to the next girl. Let it go.
How bad things were going for her because her love for him overshadowed her love for herself. Each day of this relationship it grew more toxic than the day before.
Mm.
Nard's behavior was escalating. Things got worse as time went on. There were several occasions that he beat her so bad, he almost killed her.
Davina was trapped in a vicious cycle. First the abuse, then the apologies.
Like, baby, I'm so sorry. Let me explain, you know. And he was like empathetic, like, I'm so sorry, like, I didn't mean to do that. Like, I'm not with that. But
Wow.
he would turn it on and turn it off. It's really like the angel and the devil.
Dr.
Oftentimes,
Jekyll, Mr.
women
Hyde.
believe that there's some hope.
When they show you who they are,
that their
believe them.
abuser will make a change.
He won't.
You can't just walk away from that. You can't just say, I don't love you anymore.
But it was just like, I could save him too. I could forgive him. He had potential. He had potential to really be a great guy. That is what made me stay.
Potential is not an option.
Eventually, the beatings got
Potential
so bad
without work.
that Davina decided she had been through
What's
enough.
the point?
There was no turning evilness off when he was on. Like, you ain't know what you was doing. I was just tired of fighting him. I was tired of his controlling ways. I was tired of his abusiveness. I was tired of being in fear.
Davina could finally see the writing on the wall. Nard was just using her to get what he wanted in the end.
She's ready to be out of this relationship.
Right.
That evening, Davina packed a bag and tried to summon the strength to leave Nard for good.
Nard is coming back home. He notices she's out there. He doesn't know why she's out there. Why are you outside?
Ultimately, you know, she tells him, I'm leaving. But Nard is furious.
That's when Nard did the unthinkable.
Suddenly, she's screaming, trying to convince him to stop.
Davina Branch loved her boyfriend, Nard Henley, so much she would do anything for him, including risk going to prison. After being accused as her man's second in command in an illicit escort service, she refused to talk to police. But in gathering information from several sources on the streets of Detroit, police are beginning to wonder if Davina was truly a willing participant in Nard's schemes, or if she was just another victim of his domineering nature.
I was tired of his controlling ways. I was tired of his abusiveness.
Sources claim that at one point Davina tried to leave Nard and the business for good, but she didn't make it far.
She goes outside. She's ready to go. Well, Nard is there.
Nard abruptly puts the pedal to the metal.
He did not pull off slowly like he was in driver's training. He pulled off like he had a Mustang. And when he did stop, he stopped to kill me. Period.
She goes flying to the room and obviously injures herself very badly.
After the incident, Davina felt like she was trapped.
I don't think Davina had any control over that, because I think she was literally scared of Nard.
Women like Davina stay with men like Nard because they become afraid to leave.
She knew that he wasn't going to let her go. She knew that she had to find a way out of this relationship.
Eventually, Davina became so desperate to get away from Nard that she considered doing the unthinkable.
She decides, it's not going to be me, it's going to be him.
I ran out of options. You know, it was like I dug myself deeper and deeper.
She reached a point where ultimately she felt that the only way to end this is by ending his life. She goes to the bedroom. He's asleep. She grabs his gun.
I just sat on the bed, into the bed with him, and I just was looking at the gun, looking at him.
She had the gun aimed at Nard. She was ready to take him out.
Don't pull it unless you're going to use it.
All she can think is the abuse will end.
Just saying.
And I could be free. But then there's this moment, and she hesitates.
But you know, you sitting there and you like, dang, blood gonna be on me? Am I gonna be on the run? Am I gonna turn myself in?
That's when all hell broke loose.
Nard wakes up, and he sees Davina pointing this gun directly at him.
He went crazy. He lost it.
Nard turns into a demon.
He punched me, him on top of me, like so many like punches, like a madman. thought he was going to kill me. I did.
He made sure that this would never happen again.
After the gun incident, Davina was so traumatized that she fell back into line. She continued to run the escort service, no questions asked, until the recent sting operation that resulted in her arrest. Armed with the new information they've gathered, detectives take one more crack at Davina to see if she'll give up Nard. But it's all for naught. She still refuses to cooperate with police.
Of course you do.
I was not telling on him. I was not snitching on him. I was not giving them any type of information in regards to Nard, period.
Crazy.
They decided to charge Davina with multiple counts of prostitution and earnings, and there was prostitution transporting a female charge.
Leonard Henley is also charged with procuring prostitution and transporting a female.
Would
As
you
for
stare
Micah
down?
Daniels, the call girl arrested in the middle of the sting, she is given a slap on the wrist. Probation.
Because she's willing to cooperate, they would in turn give her a lesser sentence for her involvement.
With Davina's trial fast approaching, Davina's friends and family can only hope the judge will show her leniency.
Right.
But will the court see a battered woman standing before them, or a hardened criminal?
They had no clue of what Davina's life was really like.
January 2008, Westland, Michigan. 26-year-old Davina Branch, along with her boyfriend, 24-year-old Leonard Henley, have been charged with running an illegal escort service.
Oh, Lord,
But several
Lord,
sources claim that Davina was only acting under Nard's violent mandate.
Everything that Davina did was because Nard told her to.
She was just scared of him. She just lost herself.
I wasn't thinking about what was good and what was right, and just like mind so fogged, him having an attitude, him, you know what I mean, putting these certain demands on me.
In the days leading up to Davina's sentencing hearing, prosecutors offer her a choice. Take a plea deal and give up Nard for a reduced sentence, or pay the price.
She was facing 22 years in prison.
Davina still refuses to rat on her man. However, all hope is not lost.
The attorney managed to get her down to only 3 years prison time, but she also had to register as a sex offender.
In a million years, I would have never thought that I would have been in jail. There was no possible way. There was never even a thought possibility.
But as Davina sits behind bars,
I know you
she has a strange feeling of relief.
Not
for her, prison was an escape from hell on earth. She was going through, immense torture with Nard.
Prison was a very good learning experience for me. It was really rough. But when I look at it overall, it saved me. It saved my life.
She got to know herself in there. Because you at your low is a low. She had to build herself back up.
I feel like if she would have never got involved with him in the first place, she would have never got there. Okay? But I am glad that she took that situation and getting locked up and turned it around. You know what I'm saying? Like, please stop letting these men, please stop letting these women talk you into doing crazy shit. Please. Y'all really need to know better. It's really not that serious. Like, dang, y'all just want to be loved and liked so bad. Come on now. She could have done, I mean, she was smarter than that. She already had her own business. She was already established. And she let him come in and tear her life up. No. I mean, okay? Just, child. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you know exactly when I post. If you are a newcomer, what are you doing? Like I said, hit the subscribe button. If you are already the flawless nation, okay, and you made it all the way to the end, drop those hearts in the comments so I know it's real. Okay? Later for you. Bye.